After stabbing 18-year-old Jason Jenkins in his lower back with his back turned and allegedly uttering racially motivated words, 28-year-old Timothy Carter is being charged with a hate crime, but he alleges he asked for help. And when he was denied, those not-so-suppressed thoughts in his head took over, telling him to take the life of Jason, a young man that was just trying to do something positive in his community. But the only thing that Jason cared about is that we are different, darker, our hair more coarse and puffy. We move different, we groove different, failing to remember we are humans too, and we're not so different. But at that very moment, Jason left his humanity behind. His animalistic thoughts and actions took over. And your excuse is your sanity? Well, you should have been asking for help before this day. And you're telling me those that surrounded you daily had no idea of the hatred that spewed from your mouth? Oh, this was the first time. This hate ran deep and it was not created that morning. But you're not the first to use your sanity as a scapegoat after living out their fantasies. July 22nd, 2018. Sisters Nia, Latifah, and Tashia Wilson lives would change forever after they come into contact with John Cowell, a 27-year-old white male from California. And since arrest records are always the topic of discussion, previously arrested for allegedly beating up a man and his daughter, arrested for petty theft and illegal possession of tear gas. What was he planning? Possession of METH. Found guilty of second-degree robbery after serving 2 years in federal prison. He had just made parole before all this happened. The sisters were just returning from a party at their aunt's house in Concord, California, and had caught a train at Concord Station. They were about to transfer trains to MacArthur Station to go home. Around 9:30 p.m., without giving any warning, he slashes Nia's throat and stabs Latifah in the neck. He stood back and watched as Nia's life left her body. And once his job was complete, he scampered away and had to be identified by security footage. His parents released a statement that it was possibly motivated by his mental illness. August 22nd, 2018, prosecutors add a new charge: lying in wait. This murder was premeditated. He sat on the same train waiting for the moment that his prey was vulnerable. And when he found that moment, he attacked. July 2019, the court finds Cowell competent to stand trial after being evaluated by 3 court-appointed doctors. John had his day in court, and you won't believe his defense. He said he had alien tech planted in his ear, and they were using a radio to communicate with him. He says that he believes some people wear skin suits and that the sisters were aliens. He says he believed that the girls had kidnapped his grandmother. They stood over him, staring him down, and this is the only way he could save Granny. But he never mentioned anything to doctors about skin suits or aliens. The prosecution saying his mental illness diagnosis was used for him to get a place to sleep at night. July 17, 2020. Cowell is sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. And of course he tried to appeal this case. I guess he felt he didn't belong in prison. January 5th, 2023, it was rejected by a unanimous decision. And we expect nothing less and much more for Timothy. His next court date is April 9th. Don't let him get away with murder. Justice for Jason Jenkins.